What is going on, guys? Spud here, and welcome to episode 28 of the Roundup. In today's episode, Purj goes nuclear as the Boston Breach beat the Carolina Roll Ravens. OpTic Texas versus LA Thieves with the series of this season so far, with LA Thieves being 5-1 up in the map 5 and losing 6-5 with a ridiculous 1v2 clutch from Kenny. And Toronto Ultra continue their perfect start to the season with a 6-0 record going into their final online qualifier before the major against OpTic Texas. Plus some drama regarding the snaking, potentially, that Dashi did in the Skyline hardpoint against the LA Thieves. People don't know what to think of it. And yeah, we're going to be rounding up all of the Call of Duty from this week and doing our predictions for next week's matches as well. So if you are new, please do drop a subscription to the channel. It really helps me out. And like this video if you have enjoyed it, of course. We'll also do our MVP, and let me tell you, there is 4 candidates. I don't know who to pick. I have not chosen my MVP yet for the week. I'll be doing it whilst we're doing this video. I just don't know. As always, these will be out on Wednesday at 6 PM. So do make sure to have your notifications on YouTube for that. And let's get straight into the matches that we have just had. So we're going to start obviously with the first match, which was Gentlemates versus Cloud9, and Gentlemates finally get their first win. Now it looks like Gentlemates will just play the first game. Obviously, Gentlemates are a French organisation owned by Gataga, so the games are starting at 9 PM their time anyway, so it kind of makes sense. But they do finally get a win, and it's a 3-0 as well. Priester has himself a good series finally. Obviously, I've been very critical, saying, he shouldn't have even been in the CDL this year after his performances last year for Boston Breach. But obviously, because he won the championship with Skies and Kismet, that kind of helped him get on the team. But he's played really well in this series, so he has to get the credit he deserves. But again, this Cloud9 team just is not working. I thought they would be the 4th best team this year. I don't think they're not even a top 6 team, to be honest, at the moment. Attach has a pretty good series, but everyone else not really having a good series here for Cloud9. It was a pretty close S&D, and obviously the control obviously went to a round 5 on Hacienda. But I think this was a pretty simple win for Gentlemates, and they'll be really happy to have finally got a win on the board because they didn't win in the minor tournament either. Then we had Toronto Ultra versus Minnesota Rocker. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Wow, I went far there, didn't I? We had Vegas Falcons rematch versus OpTic Texas after -1 round 1. This time it was another win for OpTic, but it was 3-1 as the S&D was won by the Falcons. The control was also very close, but OpTic did manage to win that. If we look at the stats here, Hugh with a really good 1.58 KD, Shotzi with a 1.3, and the other 2 players on OpTic also being positive. On the other side, Exnid had a good series, but the rest of his teammates didn't. We're going to show you the map 3 ending here. Hugh also was, I know he only got 24 and 20, but he did have a 12 kill streak in this map that helped win this series, win this map.
He falls. Who looking to be here for the pickups, and his spree finally comes to an end.
Yeah, it's good comms again out of the Falcons. They managed to identify those hits, and Hook's spree finally dealt with. Another corner, another opportunity for a trade battle now, or will it be a trade? Yeah, Roxas gets it. Now it was the B side of the map. Hook's back off spawn, back in a position, dashing on the coverage here. No one should better get too close to B. This has been a great defensive round from OpTic, and this is to take the lead in this series. Kenny and Dashi get their kills. Roxas now pinned and dealt with. Dashi's 2 might spell doom. The last hopes here for the Falcons as they fly forward into Shotzi. Here comes the wave, and he's dealt with them, holding them at bay. He doesn't need the kills because Hook's going to find it with the cruise. That's the map, that's the round, and that is the lead.
Very simple there for OpTic in the end. Obviously, Hacienda's quite a difficult map to win an offense on. OpTic did not need to win the offense. They managed to do a good job there and win the series. So well done to OpTic for that win. Obviously, the Falcons, though, it's not looking good. I think if they're still in this same situation by the end of Major 2, they have to, honestly, they have to sort it out. Right, now this is the real Rocker Ultra match that we were looking for, and this one was a 3-2 win for Toronto Ultra. It was a pretty close series until we got to the last map. 6-0 Ultra. Wow, everyone played well, bar maybe Insight, not really getting much damage for Ultra. On the other side, Paul X had a very poor series. Nero didn't really have a good series either. Estrel and Geo played well. Estrel's been probably the best player on that Rocker team so far. Obviously, he was quite good on Los Angeles Guerrillas last year. I think I had him third on my rookie of the year list, behind Gwyn and Abuza. But yeah, Estrel definitely had a good series here. But unfortunately, they did not win the series. It was another win for Ultras. They carry on their hot streak at the moment in these online qualifiers. But we have definitely seen teams that have performed really well online, and then it comes to LAN and they flop. So we'll have to see how that team does. Obviously, in next week's episode, we are going to do our major one predictions. And, even like the minor tournament, it's quite fun to do the prediction for. At this moment in time, obviously, I'm going to put the winner to be FaZe, OpTic, or Thieves, but I haven't actually decided yet who I'm going to go for. But I have got the team in mind that I am going to go for to win this. Anyway, we had another Vegas Falcons match and another defeat for them. They did win the search. They're a good search and destroy team. Let's make that clear. XNID, WXSL played well. Roxas and Duam didn't. Abuza finally had himself a pretty nice series for the first time this year. A 1.2, very nice from the Belgian player. Nasty as well did quite well on the AR. And O4 did okay as well. But obviously, they did lose the S&D, and obviously O4 is a really good S&D player normally, but this season he's not been as good in the S&D. But yeah, XNID had a pretty good search, but this Falcons team, it's just not going to work. They obviously miss Kicks. Maybe if Kicks was here, they might be able to maybe force a couple of game 5s potentially, but I just can't see them getting any points at the moment. I just can't see it. Then we had Cloud9 versus Heretics. Now, this was a bit of a weird one. I didn't know. I predicted Cloud9 to win this, but they did not win this. It was a 3-2 win for Heretics. If you look at the stats here, Sib, Kremp, and Mac played pretty well. On the other side, Renkor and Metals played quite well. But it was 4-3 to Cloud9 on that Hacienda. It was 3 rounds in a row that was won by Miami Heretics to win this series. And I do really enjoy it. I actually have got a bit of... I want to kind of break down this player bit from the Heretics that won them this series because I thought it was very good.
Well, Mac's been your guy on the other side for the first bloods. Real, though, he is taking the route. Wow, he looks right, he's left. He's able to get the first blood. Real gets eyes on another as well. He knows he's got bomb as well. Finds another gun to work with. Shots over the top. Trades one out. Real going huge.
But Tremps maybe found the opening on the other side of the map.
Mac wins a big one. Lucky, though, gets Kremp. The timing doesn't work out as he thought it might. Mac, the first blood king. Oh, I didn't know if he was going to make it the whole way out, but he gets out with his life. Can Mac clutch up? So much damage, and he finishes it through the wall. Mac looking for the 1v3.
We're giving him solo chows.
Metals struggled so much in search and destroy up to this point. He had a huge map too, and a chance to ice the game here. Mac, plan in, 1v1. Here we go.
Metals is waiting.
Good read. Metals with the read.
So that was a really nice play from the Heretics to win this, but if we actually look at Real here, he's the guy I want to focus on. So, I don't know why the quality... That can't be 1080.
Wow, he looks right, he's left, he's able to get the first blood. Real.
So Real gets that first kill. And then he manages to avoid being traded there by Mark.
Gets eyes on another as well. He knows he's got trades one out, finds another gun.
And then Sib kills Renkor, but Real is still alive and he gets that trade, which is massive.
Gun to work with, shots over the top, trades one out. Real going huge. Mac clutch up, so much up to this point. He had a huge map too, and a chance to ice the game here. plan in.
If you look at where Metals is actually waiting for Mac up those stairs. But then as soon as Mac goes up the stairs, Metals has already jumped down and then shoots him from behind. So a really good play here from Miami Heritage to win that map, and they deserve to win the series, in my opinion. So then we had Boston Breach versus Carolina Royal Ravens, and this is where we're obviously going to talk about Purj, because what a series and what a map 4 this guy had. Ravens were their first qualifying defeat of the season. If we look at the stats, obviously Purj is the standout, him, Cammy and Snoopy. On the other side, Gwyn is the standout for them, Slasher with a 0.7, not ideal. But if we look at map 4 here, 45 and 20 from Purj. He went absolutely crazy. And we're just going to show you the ending of this map, with obviously Purj getting a few more kills.
But Snoopy, sensational kills.
Dude, we gotta see Carolina Ravens record before and after playing against Purj. 44 and 19. And dude, let Carolina fight back and let this man just break the record. This is 44 kills for a dominant win. Ravens were lucky not to get a 100-point club. And if they fought at all, he would have dropped 60 on their 4.
That was the best individual performance, most dominant individual performance I've seen on a map this season in the Call of Duty League. And it was by Purj. I know Exted might have got like 52 kills on the same map. That was the most dominant performance from one player I've seen on a map all season. Purj was absolutely superb on this map 4. I mean, he was good for the entire map, like, there's no denying it. But that map 4, wow. It's really good. You know what? Boston Breach deserve a lot of credit, because they obviously had this team for the Esports World Cup. They got top 8. Then they chose, obviously Boston was already potentially going to implode. They ended up not doing that, like the actual organisation. So they've kept the team for this season. Obviously Snoopy's been under criticism for like 2 seasons, because basically people are saying like, why is he not being dropped? But I tell you what, I think Boston have finally found a team that works, and they're already on 40 CDL points. I think they will make champs, you know. I know obviously Rocker had a similar run, like had a really good run at Major 1, and then they were rubbish for the rest of the season. But I really like this team, and I think Cammy's definitely stepped up. I almost went for Cammy as my most improved player prediction, but I went for Kremp instead. Really wish I hadn't, but what can I do? Ravens, I don't think will be too disheartened though, but obviously it could affect where they start in the next bracket. Then we had Gentlemates versus Toronto Ultra. By the way, we are going to do the FaZe Rocker series next, and then after that we're going to do the OpTic versus LA Thieves, because there's a lot that I've got to talk about in that series, so I'd rather just do that at the end. So, Gentlemates versus Ultra. I actually had a feeling that Gentlemates were going to win this series, and after the second map I realised, yeah, I'm deluded. 3-1 here to Ultra, another really good series here from Joe Thieves. He's definitely one of the 4 players for MVP of the week. On the other side, it wasn't even like too bad of a performance from Gentlemates, but obviously they lost the series. Close skyline, nice Hacienda win for them, but terrible vault. Yeah, overall this is a bit of a disappointment for Gentlemates, and the whole stage is a disappointment. I mean, 1 and 5. Obviously they've got a game next week, but they're going to be in losers bracket now anyway. To start the season off, not ideal, of course, but they might still get through. Some teams can have a good losers run, so we'll have to just see what happens. And then we had the final match of the day before we go to OpTic Thieves. We had Rocker versus FaZe, and I tell you what, Minnesota Rocker with a really nice map 1 to bring it back. After that, though, they got slammed. Paul X with a 0.5. I do think if he has a bad final qualifying match against, I think it's against Surge, and he does bad at Major 1, I think he could lose his place on the team. On the other hand, though, Celium with a really good performance. He's definitely been good this season, Celium, because obviously there was a lot of talk about, oh, will Celium get dropped before the EWC last year, and obviously the FaZe ended up winning the Esports World Cup Call of Duty tournament, so yeah, obviously FaZe after winning minor one, they're starting to look a bit better, but I still think there's a lot that they need to work on. They don't look as good as they have in previous years. So now it's time for the match that we want to talk about the most. The match of the year so far, well, match of the season so far, not year. Los Angeles Thieves, well, it is actually the match of the year because we're in 2025 now, aren't we? Los Angeles Thieves 2, OpTic Texas 3, and this was such a good series, not just for the map 5. The map 4 as well was really good. So we started with Hacienda, and it was in a 100-point club with history being broken. First of all, we'll look at the stats though. Everyone negative on the Thieves, Shotzi and Hugh positive on the side of OpTic. And those are the other two players with Purj and Joe Deceives that are my MVP candidates. I still haven't fully decided yet who I'm going to go for, but hopefully I'll make the right choice. So, the record. Let's look at the map 1 stats to show the record. There it is, Scrap. 6 and 19. Rey Mysterio, 619. 0.3 for one of the best AR players in the game. Wow. But look at his damage. 774, which is the lowest damage in a single hard point in Call of Duty League history. Now, the Call of Duty League obviously was founded in 2019. He's the only player to have oh my word. He's the only player to have under 1,000 damage in CDL history in a hardpoint match. Absolutely crazy. Then the map 2 was pretty dominant from Thieves, as was the map 3. I thought they, obviously they won an offense, which, you know, that made it 3-1. This map, though, wow. Thieves looked dominant on this for a while, and I thought Thieves were going to win this series. But then OpTic managed to bring it back, and it was quite close. At one point, it was like 50 points difference. OpTic then ended up just dominating after that.
Here on rotation first.
Chelsea was red last time we got here. Will Hydra be red behind bar? Even if you read him, you've still got to gun him. Good luck. Have fun. Kenny with a little bit of damage in. Now the pinch is on. It's Hook making the wrap. He's been red, but it doesn't matter. 3 dead. Last player in mid. Hydra finds 1. Nearly 2. Guns at the ready. Counterattack immediate from the Thieves.
Now you can just play the chaos game if you're OpTic. Play with pace, just get these trades and keep soaring on through. This might be it to force the game number 5. OpTic have been running away with this skyline.
We've seen this set up many times before. A massive flank from Hydra. Will it be dealt with? He's on the pinch and it's done. Brucey gets it. Final 10 and we're going to a game 5. The Hacienda trilogy. One final chapter to be written in this series. And OpTic close out Skyline with a massive...
Really good play there from everyone on OpTic in that map. Ghosty not having the best of maps there. So we go to map 5 and I'm thinking, right, there's been a good series. Will OpTic win? I'm not 100% sure. After the first 6 rounds, I was like, right, that's it. OpTic have lost. It's 5-1 to Thieves. They just need one round to sort out. Then OpTic get a retake to make it 5-2. And then this round is just when it starts to get crazy.
But waste your own time. LA Thieves down to 30 seconds, and Shotzi has the freest flank of all time.
No nades, no stuns, no nothing. Shotzi's got to get going. Here we go. Can he help secure the round? His teammates are finding kills on the front line as well. Envoy staying alive. Wait. Got to slow things down. Kenny's taking a route. And you've drummed the bomb. You've drummed the bomb for the series. Checks it. Gets it. 1v1.
So that was very close, obviously, for that defuse. But if he hadn't hit the grenade, if Shotzi's grenade did not hit Envoy, LA Thieves win that map 6-2. And then OpTic do manage to force around 11 by doing this.
Straight for the plant. Hook, the back man worried about the flank. And for LA Thieves, where are you going to attack from? Coming through mid, well, here's an RC card that's just going to slow you down.
Slow you down, maybe a bit of intel? Hydra might be the man to run into it.
I've just realised this, actually, when watching it back. But Shotzi's obviously gets naded. He's down to 16 HP. He almost died whilst controlling the car.
Okay. We're going back and forth a little. We're pulling some red dots. A lot of time burnt there. Here we go. Shotzi's got to win this. Iron Nerve. Holds the iron. Trade's done. Close down to the site. It's over to Dashi. The draw. Oh my word. 2v2. The drums of war, they're starting to get way too loud. 10 seconds. A Scrap doesn't jump it. Scrap gets gunned as well.
Brilliant 2-piece from Shotzi. But yeah, that RC car was really important because it obviously it lost the Thieves some time, and obviously because you only have a certain amount of time to defuse the bomb, they would start to have to rush their players. Now. I think that my favourite play in CDL history might be Dashy's 1v3 S&D against FaZe last year at Major 3. It might be. That was mental. But that was to win a round in map 5. This was to win the game, a 1v2 from Kenny. Oh my god, this is the play of the year so far.
Just like Karachi of last year, Shotzi's dialed in.
Thieves have had to hit the tactical.
Just so you're aware, before this starts, what happened was Shotzi throws a grenade literally like above him into the air, and then he's got 2 players on him. He gets killed, but his grenade lands and gets a trade. So it's a 3. That's why it's a 3v3 at this stage.
Retreat. They're making their way through the middle of the map. Dashy, he's coming over as well. So wait, we're not retreating. We've just backed up for a moment. It could be a battle in the lobby. We could be throwing hands.
And if you're LA Thieves, there's no shot you read this kind of pressure.
Kenny spots him out. Damage dealt. Here come the nades. And here comes the tactical retreat once again, but it's Dashy trying to pick up the pinch. Big Bruce, how many can you get? 1! Trades are in! The battle continues!
I thought it was over at that point. I didn't even realise when I was watching this that Hugh was with him, but Hugh couldn't get a trade, which meant Kenny was in a really tough position. But, because of the time, Thieves did have to plant that bomb.
Continues, but it all comes down to Kenny! Kenny in the 1v2!
And they're taking the fight to him. They're bringing this bomb over towards his site.
Here we go. There's 1. Kenny! What a win! The
I genuinely can't believe it. The Thieves players, they've just witnessed a breakdown. They were 5-1 up, and they've lost the series to OpTic. And, yeah, this was just absolutely mental. Now, I have got... I was watching like Scump and that when this happened. Just watch their reaction.
They're taking the fight to him. They're bringing this bomb over towards his site.
Don't get up. Don't get up.
Here we go. There's 1.
I actually have the comms here as well, so you guys can listen to this as well.
I hate your late secret.
B. On B. Close B.
Down? No, I think we back up outside. I think we back up outside. 35 seconds. 35 seconds.
I'll wait here. I'll see near that. I'm honest.
Now we're 2 here.
Close. Watch right. Down.
Okay, last two. One top spiral, one both secret.
I just one shot.
Spiral secret.
I'm going A. No, wait. Let's go back B, yeah? Yeah, we shoot 20 seconds. We gotta go. Climb up waterfall. Yeah, you guys have 20 seconds.
You got this shit.
Come on. Wait, who was it? Nah, bro.
I mean, all you can hear is they've had to mute out the swearing, but Shotzi gets his webcam and goes, "You guys are fucking dog shit." Yeah, unbelievable. Best series of the year. Now, has been a bit of drama regarding this moment in the start of map 4 with Dashy. So, from someone else's point of view, it looked like he did 3 pumps, which is classed as snaking. Now, you're not allowed to snake. It's a gentleman agreement. If you snake, you get a punishment, like a week, or a day, or a week of being blacklisted from scrims. Obviously, you don't get the practice against the pros. So this is actually from Dashy's point of view that obviously OpTic's analyst JP has. So we can see what people think. So, Zuma, who is obviously, Zuma, obviously host of The Flank, former COD Pro. He's like one of the people that like red card if they've committed an offence, stuff like that. He says it's not a snake. OpTic, however, were blacklisted for 1 day for this. But now, after seeing Dash's point of view, obviously Octane, who's part of 100 Thieves, says he's dirty. He's obviously trying to get interactions from people. I think it's just some people agree, some people don't. It's like that dress, white and gold or blue and black, whatever it was. But it's happened now. They got that 1 day punishment. Look, I don't know. I'm not too into that GA stuff, but so Zuma doesn't think it is, but then like Parasite, who's also on the host, he thinks it is. OpTic people think it isn't. Thieves people think it is. You know what I mean? It's just we don't know ultimately. We don't know. But let's do our predictions for next week. But first, we will we'll show this now rather than after. It just makes a bit more sense. So these are the standings after the first 3 weeks of qualifiers. So obviously this is going to decide who gets losers bracket, who gets winners bracket, what seeding you are. So obviously because it comes down to head, OpTic play Toronto. If OpTic beat Toronto and Boston Breach don't win both of their qualifiers, OpTic will be number 1 seed and will play 8th seed. However, FaZe are currently in 8th. So is there a possibility you have an OpTic FaZe round 1? We'll have to see, obviously, what happens. But Falcons are obviously not going to get winners. Neither are Cloud9 or Gentlemates. Rocker could. I think it's Rocker Surge. So we'll have to just see on that. But my prediction is that these 4 teams will be in the losers bracket. So let's do our predictions before we end the... We have got 9 matches again this week. So we have got Ravens versus Surge. I'm going to go with 3-2 to the Royal Ravens. I think they'll just have what it takes to beat the Surge. Miami Heretics versus LA Thieves. I'm going to go with 3-1 to LA Thieves. I think that they'll come back fighting after that OpTic breakdown. Boston Breach versus FaZe. Now, this is actually an interesting one for that winners bracket spot. I'll go 3-1 FaZe. Obviously, if that was to happen and OpTic beat Ultra, then OpTic are number 1 seed. Then we had Vancouver Surge versus Minnesota Rocker. I'm going to go 3-2 to Vancouver Surge. I think they will beat the Rocker in 5. Then we have Vegas Falcons versus Gentlemates. Oh my god. Right, I'm going to go with 3-1 to Gentlemates. I think Falcons take the Surge because they're a good Surge team. Heretics versus Ravens is actually a really interesting series. And I'm going to go for a bit of a surprise result here. I'm going to go 3-1 to the Miami Heretics. I'm not sure why. I'm just going to go for it. Then we have our final 3 online qualifiers for Major 1. Boston Breach versus LA Thieves. I'm going to go with 3-1 to LA Thieves. FaZe versus Cloud9. I'm going to go 3-0 to FaZe. I think Cloud9 will make a change after Major 1. And then we have our main event, Toronto Ultra versus OpTic Texas. I'm going to go with 3-2 OpTic Texas, and OpTic will get number 1 seed in the Major, which is obviously going to be held in Madrid. And I think that's going to be really good, and obviously that starts on Thursday. The timings will be different. I don't know when the matches actually will start for this, to be honest. But I'm really looking forward to the Major. I think it'll be really good. Obviously, I haven't really done my predictions for that yet because I just don't know. But we have now got time to do our MVP. Oh my. So it's between Purj, Jodeceives, Shotzi and Hugh. Now, Purj only played 1 series. I feel like if you only played 1 series, you've got less chance of winning it. Because if you've played well in both 2 series in the same week, it shows that you're up there. So, Purj had the most dominant map in the season so far. He is going to be not getting the MVP award. So it leaves Hugh, Shotzi and Jodeceives. Shotzi is one of the best SMG players in the game. One of the best multi-FPS players of all time. He will not be making my MVP this week. It is now between Hugh and Joe Thieves. And because of the opponent of that Thieves game, Hugh is my MVP for the week. I think he's done really well since coming back into Optic. But can he do what he's doing online on LAN? That is the question that all Optic fans around the world want to know. But that is going to be the end of this episode of the Roundup. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I think it's been a fun one. Obviously, all the Optic Thieves drama and some teams may be underperforming. Roster changes will be imminent after Major 1, let's be honest. There will be at least 3 or 4 changes. We'll have to see how teams do in Madrid. But first of all, we have got our final online qualifiers for next week. If you did enjoy this episode of the Roundup, please do like and subscribe. It really does mean a lot for me. And it helps me out a lot. And until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye for now.